The presence of humans in the Sonic franchise is a topic that has been debated over throughout its lifespan. However, these debates have increased in frequency during recent times. It can usually be boiled down to some people believing that human characters have no place in Sonic the Hedgehog because his world is only inhabited by animals, and then others who believe that humans can and should be a part of the narrative. Let's start with the argument that Sonic shouldn't have humans. A fair way to challenge this notion is to look for any examples of either human presence or straight up humans in the classic Sonic games. Going all the way back to Sonic 1, there are already numerous points in the humans' favour here. A minor one would be that during production, for a time it was planned Sonic would have a human girlfriend. Whilst that idea was scrapped, it does give us insight into how the creators were not opposed to humans existing as a part of the world. Since that was a cancelled idea, it would be fair to say that it's not a strong enough point on its own. And I agree. The biggest example of humans in this instance is the game's antagonist, Dr. Eggman. Eggman is a human and has always been referred to as one. His existence alone should be enough to show humans can exist in the Sonic world. From what I've seen, Eggman is either brushed off when used to support the human involvement, or he is said to be a one-off and the only human in the Sonic world. The problem with this defense, aside from the fact that it is basically denying something that already exists, is that if you apply the same logic back on their argument, it falls apart. If it's okay to say Eggman is a one-off human, then why couldn't you say that Sonic and friends are rare exceptions in a human world? Neither one of these opinions are more valid than the other, and yet the lone Eggman seems to be treated as the superior view. In the early Sonic games, many stages such as Starlight Zone and Chemical Plant have cities in the background. To me, this always inferred the presence of humans. They wouldn't really have had a purpose in showing up during the classic games when Sonic was just a woodland creature defending his home from a mad scientist. The games seem to support the idea through the first zones. They always was themed after a natural, peaceful place where Sonic set off from because he lived in the wilderness. Knuckles' opening cutscene in Sonic 3 shows him being one with nature, so it isn't too much of a stretch to suggest Sonic and Tails were not too dissimilar. Like many things, there is a middle ground to this debate as well, that being, why not have the world occupied by both humans and Sonic-styled animals in mass? The only place I can recall having such a depiction of the world was Sonic Archie comics, but I want to keep this video focused on the video games. Likewise, I could have brought up humans in both the comics and the cartoons, so if I were to take media into account, the human argument still scores more points. Now as for the argument on should humans be involved in the Sonic world, we can look to the Adventure era to see how they were handled. In Adventure, the humans do not live in the wilderness like Sonic was shown to in the past. They live in cities, which, aside from Eggman-related stages, were usually only in the background of the classic stages. When people interact with Sonic and friends, the humans are not frightened, implying they are well aware of their existence. The humans don't actively accomplish anything, which is fine because the focus remains on the Sonic crew. However, they do help ground the events of the narrative to be more relatable to, well, humans. The threat of Chaos Zero when he shrugs off bullets, the marvel at Angel Island crashing into the ground, even cheering on Sonic during the last story to stop Chaos. The humans help humanize the very extraordinary occurrences of the story mode. Some may counter this by saying that all of that could be accomplished by Sonic-styled animals as well, so humans are not necessary for making a more grounded connection. My response would be that yes, you could substitute the humans for animals, but why would you feel the need to?
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
As far as we know, Sonic's world has humans and Sonic-style creatures, but in Sonic Adventure and Beyond, we are specifically following Sonic and his friends as they run about nature and human society. Much like how the classics implied humans, the Adventure era never deconfirms more creatures like Sonic. It even introduces new ones like Rouge or the Babylon Rose, it just doesn't focus on them. If we were to retroactively replace humans with animals now, it would feel forced and jarring. Humans have long since been a part of Sonic's world at this point. Some characters are rather integral to the plot, such as Gerald and Maria Robotnik. Recent games in the franchise seem to be removing humans regardless of context.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Sonic Forces was about the world being under the control of Dr. Eggman, but we never once hear about Gun helping, nor have any mention of the past locations like Station Square or Central City. Because animals are shown to occupy cities and forces, humans are both not present, beside Eggman, but also not even implied to exist anymore. To me, this comes off as Sega pandering to a specific group at the cost of contradicting the franchise's own continuity, although that's something that seems to have been forgotten altogether at this point anyway. An explanation for the lack of humans was given, stating that there are in fact two worlds, one with humans and one with Sonic-styled animals, and that our team swap worlds wherever there is danger. Aside from the fact that this is obviously a retroactive measure, it also doesn't work. If this were true, then the Sonic cast would be aware of two worlds and have the ability to visit them at will, but none of the characters ever mention this. Dr. Eggman especially should have taken advantage of this, causing a distraction in one world so he may create an empire in the other, but he doesn't, because there are no two worlds. Even if you give two worlds the benefit of the doubt and say that the characters are not aware of it as it's a meta reason, Shadow still breaks it. Shadow was created by Professor Gerald Robotnik on Space Colony Ark that was inhabited by humans and funded by Gun. Maria's death was a key part of his backstory, and she was a human. Two worlds is not real, and almost anything in the franchise can be used to disprove it. So I think I made my case as to why humans should and already do exist in the Sonic world. However, there is also another debate on how humans should be depicted. The three main camps are the semi-realistic style in Sonic Adventure through to Shadow, the realistic depiction in Sonic 2006, and the cartoon depictions in Unleashed and Chronicles. The cartoony style is usually praised for making the humans integrate into Sonic's world without looking so jarring. It's a fine interpretation, however it doesn't quite capture the unique imagery of people standing beside Sonic like the other styles do. Mario Odyssey features a city where Mario can interact with other people, however they are realistically proportioned whilst Mario is not. And yet not only does it not suddenly ruin the game, but it adds a charm to the area, the same charm Sonic games had when they featured normally proportioned people. Between the adventure style and the 2006 style, the major difference seems to be how one group is okay with Eggman having a more realistic design and the other group disagrees with it. Personally, I always saw the humans in 2006 to just be a natural progression of their appearance in the adventure games thanks to improved technology, so I don't really distinguish the two. All I may add is that you could still have the realistic humans, but have Eggman's proportions remain exaggerated. This is also the philosophy I would have for Sonic interaction with animals such as pet dogs or regular birds. In conclusion, I believe that humans do belong in Sonic games. They have already been integrated to their past and do not cause any major issues besides personal preference. At the very least, if Sega must use the generic Sonic-like animals in the future, they could refrain from erasing the existence of humans altogether. And that brings us to the end of the video. The human debate isn't the largest or the most important one in the franchise, but I think it had merit to bring up as it seems indicative to the mentality behind decisions in the newer games. Thank you for making it all the way to the end. Please share if you think you do know others who would enjoy my content. Have a good day, and see you next time.